large amounts of counterfeit money, narcotics, and handguns. Super Bowl Sunday of 2014, there was a one-off 2008 Superbird race car valued at approximately $200,000 that was in the city of San Bernardino to have some work done. Why the city of San Bernardino, I can't tell you. It's like the number 2 most dangerous city in California, but evidently there's some good auto shops there. So it was there. Overnight it was stolen. One of the guys that works for the insurance company, who is a retired police officer, called our task force and said, hey, this is what we got. Can you guys get on it? So we had investigators from the California Highway Patrol, our sheriff's department, a couple of the local police agencies, as well as investigator from the National Insurance Crime Bureau, NICB, California State Department of Justice, and then we had some DMV investigators. So it was a complete task force of people from a lot of the different automotive areas. So put out a press release. The trailer was painted in a very unique manner so that it would stand out. It got blasted out on the news media, both television and print. And the next day we got a call from a citizen who had seen something that matched our trailer in the parking lot of a body shop down in Moreno Valley, which is Riverside County, a county over from us. The owner of that place, pretty uncooperative. However, we had a search warrant written, served the search warrant. As we're talking to him, our investigators are walking around looking, find several VIN stickers on the ground in different places. One of them being the VIN sticker from the Superbird. Leave there that day, we recovered 2 stolen trailers from that location. We received some phone calls from some people that had information about the trailers and things we recovered there, which led us to a person who had come into that shop with parts that may or may not have matched a Superbird. He knew his first name, knew the license plate of the car he drove, found out that that subject lived in Apple Valley, California, which is up in the high desert region. So I was already up there, and as we walked the perimeter of that location in the backyard, there was a double-decker trailer in the back. As we were about to serve the search warrant, the homeowner showed up and explained to us he had bought that trailer for about $10,000, a very high-end double-decker trailer. It had a brand new VIN tag. You could tell where the old one had been removed from the paint on the tongue of the trailer. You could very clearly see there had been another VIN tag there, not in the too distant past. Through that process, we were able to determine that trailer had been stolen out of Huntington Beach, California, and when it was stolen, it had 2 high-end BMW race cars in it. Older gentleman that was there told us it was through a friend of his son that he had purchased this trailer out of Rialto, California, and the guy had a couple of shops down there. So about that time, the son came home, admitted that he was the one that had helped his dad purchase this other trailer, and of course knew nothing that it was stolen or anything else, but told us where he had purchased the trailer from. We then responded to the Rialto location, obtained search warrants for 2 locations in the city of Rialto. While we were serving that search warrant, it was probably a 2.5 acre property, just full of vehicles, trailers, engines, parts, jet skis. So as we're going through the trailers, we locate the 2 BMW race cars, both partially parted out. There was another 2 or 3 stolen trailers at that location. And then in speaking to the owner at that location, he said, yeah, I do have another location that's down the street. We responded to that location and came across the Superbird race car in the midst of being parted out. The seats were out of it, the Haas racing gear was out of it, the racing suits, helmets. It was our Apple Valley guy, was one of the guys that originally stole it, but he did it at the behest of another subject. Told us, where the guy lived. The subject at that location in Colton had a full camera surveillance system, was known to have a lot of weapons, ammunition, and that sort of thing. We secured that location. Upon searching that location, we recovered another stolen Lexus, about 20,000 rounds of ammunition, 20 stolen guns, including a World War II era Mauser with the swastikas and eagle still stamped into the receiver of the weapon. That weapon had been stolen out of Oregon about 10 years before. There was numerous items of Hells Angels paraphernalia. This guy was a hanger-on with the Hells Angels. We went down the street to another garage he had at his mom's house, which was at the end of the street. Located a vehicle there with a bunch of bullet holes in the back of it. On talking to the mom of how those bullet holes came to be, she said her son got angry at her one day, and as she drove away, he capped off a bunch of rounds at her. Inside his house, as we continued the search, we got to his bedroom and recovered the racing suit, all of the Haas racing gear. He had both of the seats in his bedroom, as well as the helmets from the car. So we had all that tied him to the vehicle, as well as him being a convicted felon, along with all the other weapons, ammunition, and paraphernalia. So he was taken into custody due to the legal climate in California. This particular gentleman was released with 285 days of weekends. That's where that case kind of ended. Then we got some more information relating to the other stolen trailers that were out the Rialto location. Had originally been at another home in Rialto. So we then responded to that location, made contact with the homeowner there, and said, yeah, that trailer had been here, but it left with a subject and went to Utah. Found that he had been stopped on the way to Utah in a trailer that had been VIN switched. It had the original VIN from a trailer at his house in Orange County, California. However, the trailer they were driving was stolen. When they searched that trailer, they located large amounts of counterfeit money, narcotics, and handguns. So because he had crossed state lines and the federal government got involved, they took him into federal custody, and he was in federal custody in Utah. From that, we rolled back and wrote a search warrant on his property in Orange County, his house in Orange County. We landed there, recovered another 2 stolen trailers. Well, 1 stolen trailer and then his trailer with the VIN removed. And within both of those trailers, there were stolen Harley-Davidson parts. We had 3 stolen quads that were inside one of the trailers, Snap-on tools, Craftsman tools, all kinds of riding gear. Also, as a part of the rollback from the Orange County house, we received information that the Orange County guy had a car that he sold to someone out in Daggett. If you ever look Daggett up, you'll see that it's nothing but desert with a freeway that runs through it, and about 4 people live there. But there was a huge property right off of the freeway with probably a good 1,000 vehicles just stacked on this property. So most of them were just junk cars. However, we were able to recover an Olds 442 that had been stolen 25 years before and had been VIN switched. Then a couple of generators and other vehicles that had sat out in the sun and withered away for 25 years. But the Olds 442 had been in a barn with the cover over it, when one of those barn finds that everyone wants to find for their hero car from their childhood. But all of that stuff was seized, and we wrapped the case up with, I want to say, 37 search warrants, 11 bodies in custody, and well over $1 million seized in stolen property.